Hey everyone. Why that happened? Let me see what's going on. I know it's going to screw up because I always screw up. Okay, there's no sound coming through. So I don't know what I did wrong. Okay, there's no sound coming through. So I don't know what I did wrong. Okay, I'm good. Okay, there's no sound coming through. So I don't know what I did wrong. Okay, I'm good. Okay, there's no sound coming through. What I did wrong. Okay, I'm good. Okay, can you guys hear me? All right. I hope you guys can hear me, but I really screwed up. Power off. But I kind of always screwed up. So let's just do this one more time. Let's see. Play. All right. I hope you guys can hear me. You guys can hear me. I really screwed up. Power off. But I kind of always screwed up. So let's just do this one more time. Play. All right. I hope you guys can.
In the heart of the city, there's a lady so divine, with a gift so rare she can read between the lines, unlocking mysteries. She's the one we all admire. With a touch of magic, she sets our souls on fire. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I'm sure. On TV she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV, she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where shines today. Tracy Brown lit the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. Tracy Brown lit the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong.
Hi, everyone. All right, I was trying so hard not to show my face. I don't know what happened. Just so well uncoordinated I am, which is fine. It's fine to be so well uncoordinated. How are you all doing today? Well, let's go back. How are you all doing today? Let me get to the right spot. We are on demon number 7. And this one is the headless something or other. I can't remember. But this particular demon accounts for many folks that have intellectual retardation. All right. And so to arrest this energy, it says something like they make the child um, intellectually arrested by the 8th day. So, not that you would know that your child is coming out a certain type of way. We do have tests now that could tell if you're having a Down syndrome child. But what I can tell you about Down syndrome, they are some of the most amazing category of people. And their delayed development can get advanced with all the proper physical therapy, occupational therapy, catching it really, really early. And then you can have just an amazing child, even if they have Down syndrome. I love Down syndrome children. You guys know I have an intellectually disabled sister who is my ace. I love her. I love her. I love her. And the older she gets, the more intellectually her development gets. So she might be, her real physical age is 69, but seriously, she now communicates like a 20-year-old. And that is the most beautiful growth that I have been able to witness, bringing her out to California and giving her autonomy and allowing her and her brain to catch up so that she can communicate effectively. I love watching my sister's growth for the past, I don't know how long she's been with me. I think she's been with me for like 15 years. And it's just amazing. I also want to attribute that her she could have been much more advanced, but in her age bracket, they didn't believe in schooling this category of people. They institutionalized them and housed them pretty much like animals. And Geraldo Rivera did a undercover documentary on one of the homes in Staten Island and discovered the abuse that these category people was living under. And since then, New York City revamped their whole program. Other states have followed, and there's nothing wrong with an intellectually disabled person with given the proper resources. You can have a great, great child, a great sister, a great, fun family member. I promise you. I've done it. I know people that have, some of my clients have sisters, brothers, children that are intellectually um, not as advanced in their age bracket. They're not in their age bracket, but just amazing, amazing category of people. I love them so much. With all that being said, this particular demon is a demon that attacks the intellectual development from babies. And so I think this series I'm discovering has to a lot to do with, sometimes if you don't know what evil is, you can't fix it. And so I feel like this series is there to fix evil entering our lives because of the frustrations that they have to answer to. One of the things I say with people is, my mom used to say, if spirit calls out your name, right? Always say not ready. It could very well be someone that you know downstairs in the kitchen, but always say not ready because you don't want them to catch you in death, right? And so maybe that's why. Hold on, guys. Maybe that's why it's your first time. No worries. Tuesday night for the reading is fine. Don't worry. Okay, someone's monies didn't clear from out of the country. So it said it'll clear on Tuesday, and so we'll just do it on Tuesdays. Nothing's ever going to be that big of a deal, guys. We will get through all of this. But what was I saying? Okay, so you always say not ready if you hear your name being called. And at night, particularly at night, all this shit always happens at night. If you feel like spirit is in the room, you just have to say, you must be of God or get out. And I promise you, those simple words, they have to leave. You'll be surprised. You don't need to be scared. Now, for babies, I used to do a trick with my son. I don't even know if he remembers this. I used to get an air freshener, call it, let's say, Ghostbuster. I don't know if I think Ghostbusters was out at the time. Label it Ghostbuster, keep it by the bedside. And then if he heard something, just spray the bottle. Like, let's say I'm not in the room, like grab the spray and say, you're not of God, get out. And then spray again. Always worked. And you know why it always worked? Because it's the words. It's the words. You have to say it, you have to believe it, and you have to go back to sleep. You have to, because if you don't go back to sleep, that mental illness will seep in. You have to believe the words that are coming out of your mouth. And I promise you, your ancestors and your guides got you. Now, it's very important to understand that spirits are roaming around you constantly. If you really saw what I see on a daily basis, spirits are always around you. What I tell my spirits is, don't come in my bedroom. These are the nice spirits. I'm like, y'all can party in my living room. Don't make too much noise, because I don't like that. But y'all can relax and party in my living room. Do not come in my bedroom. I also say that for evil spirits that want to have sex with you, they're out there. I do not give my body permission for any spirit energy to have sex with me. Fuck that. But it does happen, people. You think you're in a dream, but you're really not. What else? And if something is in my bedroom, again, I'm not against good, healthy spirits, but if you can't tell the difference, all you have to say is, if you are not of God, get out. And I don't know about you, but when spirit is around me at night, I pass out. Does anybody else? Does that happen to anybody else where you're like, and I couldn't wake up? Yeah, because the energy of the spirit is so palpable. It's a energetic field that your body's not accustomed to, so it will make you pass out. All right, guys, let me just see who's here for right now. Hi, Stephen. How are you? Thank you for coming aboard, Stephen. All right, guys, let's play the series right now, and let's see where we should go from here. All right, guys, listen intently. Okay, let's get over to this.
After the 7 sisters of darkness had been bound, Solomon bade another demon to come before him. And there came a demon, having the body and all the limbs of a man, but without a head. And Solomon, seeing him, said to him, Tell me, who are you? And he answered, I am a demon. So Solomon said to him, Which are you? And he answered, I am called Envy, for I delight to devour heads, being desirous to secure for myself a head. But I never eat enough, and as I stand before you, I desire to have such a head as yours. Solomon, on hearing this, stretched out his hand against the demon's chest, and sealed him with the ring of God. The demon leapt up, and threw himself down, and gave a loud groan, saying, I am doomed. Where have I come to? O traitor Orneas, I cannot see. So Solomon said to him, I am Solomon. Tell me then how it is you manage to see, when you are without a head. And the demon answered, By the means of my feelings. And Solomon asked him, How do you manage to speak? And he answered, O king, I am holy voice, for I have inherited the voices of many. In the case of all men who are called dumb, it is I who smashed their heads when they were children and had reached their 8th day. When a child is crying in the night, I become a spirit and move by the means of his voice. Along the crossroads also do I pass, and whoever I encounter shall be harmed, for I grasp a man's head with my hands, and with a sword I cut it off, and put it onto myself, and through my neck it is consumed by the fire which burns inside me. I mutilate the dead in the graves, and inflict incurable sores on men's feet. And Solomon said to him, Tell me how you emit the fire? Out of what sources do you emit it? And the spirit said, From the day star, for here has not yet been found the great demon Elbrian, to whom men offer prayers and kindle lights. His true name is not known by men. He is invoked by the 7 sisters, whom he greatly cherishes. Solomon said to him, Tell me his name. But the demon answered, I cannot tell you, for if I tell his name, I render myself incurable. He will come when he is called. And Solomon said to him, Tell me then, by what angel you are frustrated? And he answered, by the fiery flash of lightning, and the angel, IAX. Not sure what to do with this headless eyeless demon, Solomon kept him in the custody of Beelzebul until he summons the angel, IAX.
All right, guys. There's a couple of things I just want to go over, and I might play it one more time. Let me see. Add to stage. At some point, there's later down the line, there's another demon that comes through that has some relationship with the angel IX. Like you, I have never heard of the angel IX. And so I did find something that you could say at the very least, that if you're pregnant and the baby is, again, so for some people, you can tell if your baby is going to be Down syndrome, but if the baby is born and born normal, presumably after they do the test, um, you can say something to IX. All right. Just say something similar like IX. Um, I bid you to keep back any entity that could harm my baby's intellectual prowess. All right. It says here, I don't know if you have to say this though, but it says here that Solomon is the fairer than 11 fathers. I don't know. And at once, any entity that could harm your baby has to retreat. Now, also, I lived in California for like 25 years. And I was always fascinated how the Mexican culture, when their babies are born, they put a thick blanket over the carriage when they are taking the baby out into public. Now, I always understood that it meant to keep the evil eye off, but I never really understood what any of that meant. Is the evil eye a family member? Like, what is the evil eye? It turns out that because they believe in the negative spiritual energy of anything, it's to keep the negative spiritual energy out. In addition to that, if there is someone that wants what you have, right, but can't make it for themselves, then they will, let me see something, they will throw envy out there. And envy is wanting what someone else has. Let me get this over to you so you could see it for yourselves. I never understood the difference between the two, but now I have clarity, and I love that. Let me open this up. Jealousy versus envy etymology. Jealousy is when you worry someone will take what you have. So, like, let's say if you're dating someone and you want the person that the other person is dating, then that person is jealous. You want what I have. Envy is wanting what someone else has. So, envy, an example of envy is like a good example of, which is why the Indian culture, okay, like a good example is if you say in the Indian culture, if you say to someone, I love your bracelet, it's customary to take the bracelet off and give it to them. And the reason why it's customary is because of envy, wanting what someone else has. I wish I had your bracelet. Take it off. That's not what people say, but there's a clear indication that that's the meaning. So in Indian culture, if you call yourself admiring something, they will take it off and give it to you. Because it keeps the envy away. And I'm telling you, when you do something like that, you satisfy the demon inside the other person. Not that everyone is evil, but that energy is demonic, right? Jealousy is demonic. Envy is demonic. And at least with envy, if someone says, oh my God, I love that treasure chest on your table, they, boom, take it. And they're like, what? Nope, take it. I was in a supermarket and a white lady, culturally, I don't know where she was from, I admired her necklace and she took it off and gave it to me. And I took it. She satisfied her envy, and I satisfied the demonic energy in me that wanted it. And to this day, I carry the necklace. I wore the necklace Friday, yesterday, as a matter of fact. I love this necklace. And she took the energy off of her. What I was actually thinking when I was studying, because I was like, can I look at it? Can I study it? And I was like, oh, I could make this necklace. That's what I was actually thinking. But I guess I studied that necklace too long. She took it off and she gave it to me. And I took it. It was that demonic energy in me was like, well, I wanted it. I'm not saying any of this is okay. I'm saying that's the thing that is in all of us. At least I can recognize that envy showed up in that moment. Maybe I didn't understand it, but as I've grown in these deities of evil, I get it. I get so much of this energy now. And so I can only tell you the story now because of how I know what I went through in a particular instance. So I'm thinking if I go through it, we all have a little bit of envy inside of us. We all might have a little bit of jealousy inside of us. Some of us, a lot of jealousy. And let me tell you something. If somebody got jealousy, I promise you, they will take your man. They will take your woman. I promise you, I've seen it. And they can't even stop themselves because they don't even know that the demon rides them. Has anybody had a similar experience? Hi, Michelle Bell. How are you? So I'm going to go over a few things in case you missed it, which I'm not understanding all of this and I'm growing with you guys. So I don't always think I'm the best interpreter of Solomon's demons, but just trust that I'm trying to do my best. So there's a little bit of confusion as to the light in the sky, the Venus star. And the Venus star has come up before. And in Roman mythology, Lucifer or Satan was the name given to the morning star. The morning star has come up before. The morning star usually shows up in the east just before the sun rises. Now, they will say that when you see the morning star in the far east, that is called Venus. In addition to the misinterpretation of what is Venus and what is Lucifer, Lucifer is also considered the morning star. So it says here in Roman mythology, Lucifer was the name given to the morning star. It means the light bringer. So the light bringer is the sun. The name Lucifer became associated with Satan in some interpretations of the Bible, particularly in the King James Version, where Isaiah 14:12 uses Lucifer to describe a fallen king, which some later interpreted as Satan. The original meaning of Lucifer, simply the morning star. It says here it is not inherently associated with evil, but I thought Lucifer was evil. Venus, however, is a planet. The planet Venus is a celestial body, a part of our solar system, and apparently has no moral or ethical attributes. I find that impossible, that it has no moral or ethical attributes. I think there is no such thing, because we have later known for Venus to be the planet of love. So it has to have some moral and ethical attributes. I found that a little weird to say. To continue, therefore, it's important to distinguish between the astronomical term morning star Venus from the mythological figure Lucifer and the religious figure Satan. While there is a connection through the name Lucifer, it is historically and interpretationally linked, not a fundamental one. Well, that bothers me a little bit, because I feel like over the years, to not understand the interpretation of the morning star fully, they have turned the morning star into Venus, meaning Venus is supposedly a loving planet, but here it says it has no moral or ethical attributes. I find that impossible. Let's continue. Into Peter 1:19, until the day star arises in your heart. They mentioned the day star. The word is literally light bringer. Remember, light bringer technically is Satan. It is applicable, therefore, not only to the planet Venus, seen as a morning star, herald of the dawn, but to the sun itself, sun meaning S-O-N, not S-U-N, and is used here as a title of our Lord. So again, this is where they confuse us. So is the sun S-U-N as we know it, or is the sun actually S-O-N? And so, which, I don't know, I'm starting to get some hits lately. And so now I'm kind of wondering if the nighttime is literally where evil roams best. And then once the sun rises, the S-O-N, not the S-U-N, is that where we get clarity, we see better? Is that a day of opportunity each day to correct our nighttime mistakes by seeing the sun, S-U-N, as Jesus, S-O-N? So now I'm kind of wondering, when the sun rises, and if Lucifer or Satan is the morning star and they roam the night causing all kinds of havoc, which is why we all know sayings that our parents have said, anything that happens after midnight is going to be trouble. So stay indoors, right? Now I'm kind of wondering if there's some like stuff connected to the nighttime and how evil roams. And so when the sun comes up, the S-U-N, when the sun comes up, is it really Jesus, S-O-N. So do we look at the sun every day? And is it really Jesus that we are looking at? So now I'm wondering, is that how Jesus never dies? Is that how the energy of Jesus lives? The energy of Jesus lives because he rises as an S-U-N, but is really S-O-N, that it's an actual energy field that shines bright. Does anybody get what I'm trying to say? I know that there's been some IG that have told me about how they tricked us into believing that SUN is one thing, but it's really SON. And I remember hearing this and just absorbing it, not negating it at all. Like, I'm never going to be the type of person to say, we're just going to agree to disagree. No, we're not going to agree to disagree. I'm going to figure out what it is that I'm missing. And if you, as we're debating, can't take the time later to figure it out, well, then we can't be on the same page. But I'm not going to agree with someone to disagree. That doesn't make sense. But I remember seeing some IG post that was informing me of something, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I just let it go because IG, TikTok, is so overwhelming. Everyone has so much information to pass on to us. Let's go on to the next one. Day star, which precedes and accompanies the sun rising. It is only found in 2 Peter, where he denotes the manifestation of Christ to the soul, imparting spiritual light and comfort. He is the bright and morning star, also in Revelation. And nothing good comes out of Revelation. Revelation is all about these demons that you and I are discussing right now. Trust. Well, not trust. You don't have to trust me, but it is the destruction being given by an order, I believe, from God, when he just gets tired of us, right? And so it's also in Numbers. Okay, moving on. Yes, the morning star is commonly Venus when it appears in the eastern sky before sunrise. It is also sometimes referred to as the evening star when it appears in the western sky after sunset. The visibility depends on the orbital position of both Venus and Earth. Very interesting. So I asked a question. I think I asked, is the morning star evil on Google? And it says, no, the morning star, which is the planet Venus, is not inherently evil. Okay. While the name Lucifer, which historically refers to the morning star as well, notice, guys, this doesn't make sense. You can't have Venus, which is not inherently evil, and Lucifer, which is inherently evil, both be the morning star. There's some trickery going on here to not allow us to align effectively on how to deal with negative energy. Venus refers to the morning star. Lucifer refers to the morning star. One is not inherently evil, the other is. Lucifer refers to the morning star, has become associated with Satan in some religious contexts. This is a later interpretation and not the original meaning of the word. I beg to differ. The planet Venus itself is a celestial body and has no moral alignment. That does not make sense to me. Here's a breakdown. In astronomy, the morning star is simply the planet Venus, when it appears in the eastern sky before sunrise. Okay, what I've learned so far from, and I think next week I'm going to assess everything up until now. What I've learned so far is that there is no hell. There's nothing underground that you're going to go to. That's what I believe that I've learned so far in this series. And that there are different levels in the sky. And that the first level that we see are the evil deities. So, if Lucifer is a bright star before the sun rises, S-O-N rises, then the first level are all the evil deities. So now we have to kind of reassess how we pray to Venus. I'm at the point where I'm not willing to pray to anything. I'm kind of like, I don't want to get to heaven and God was like, oh, you got it all wrong and this is really what it is and you got to go back. Yeah, I'm not going back. I'm learning this right now. And I may not get it right, but at least I'm becoming fully aware. I'm kind of not wanting to do any kind of magic on the moon cycle. I don't even think the moon can be trusted. I think astronomically we have been tricked. I think those that were assigned to study this knew that what's in the sky is actually inherently evil by the first level, which kind of makes sense to me because when I studied what Venus is as a planet, Venus is cloudy. Venus has toxic monoxide poisonings. Like, how the fuck are we referring to Venus as the love planet when there's nothing loving about Venus as a celestial body in the sky? So, how do we translate that to love? Like, who did that? Who tricked us throughout the years? I'm just saying. I'm trying to get there. Um, and this series is kind of making me judge things different than I would have ever thought before. I mean, thank God I never really gave classes on Venus, which is normally done on Fridays, blah, 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 blah. My book, however, does place all the planets at the days of the week. And I'm not against what you know right now. I think I'm against being tricked. I think that is one of my biggest problems right now. Like, have we all been tricked? All right, let's go over the series one more time. Listen intently. And by the way, if you're not getting it, listen to it over and over. I think every time I listen to it, something else comes through. Don't just listen to it one time. Like, go back and listen to it again and again and again. All right? All right. Let's do this again. Give me 1 second while I get to the page. Let me turn it down. Okay, listen intently, guys.
After the 7 sisters of darkness had been bound, Solomon bade another demon to come before him. And there came a demon, having the body and all the limbs of a man, but without a head. And Solomon, seeing him, said to him, Tell me, who are you? And he answered, I am a demon. So Solomon said to him, Which are you? And he answered, I am called Envy, for I delight to devour heads, being desirous to secure for myself a head. But I never eat enough, and as I stand before you, I desire to have such a head as yours. Solomon, on hearing this, stretched out his hand against the demon's chest, and sealed him with the ring of God. The demon leapt up, and threw himself down, and gave a loud groan, saying, I am doomed. Where have I come to? O traitor Orneas, I cannot see. So Solomon said to him, I am Solomon. Tell me then how it is you manage to see, when you are without a head. And the demon answered, By the means of my feelings. And Solomon asked him, How do you manage to speak? And he answered, O king, I am holy voice, for I have inherited the voices of many. In the case of all men who are called dumb, it is I, who smashed their heads when they were children, and had reached their 8th day. When a child is crying in the night, I become a spirit, and move by the means of his voice. Along the crossroads also do I pass, and whoever I encounter shall be harmed, for I grasp a man's head with my hands, and with a sword I cut it off, and put it onto myself, and through my neck it is consumed by the fire which burns inside me. I mutilate the dead in the graves, and inflict incurable sores on men's feet. And Solomon said to him, Tell me how you emit the fire? Out of what sources do you emit it? And the spirit said, From the day star, for here has not yet been found the great demon Elberion, to whom men offer prayers and kindle lights. His true name is not known by men. He is invoked by the 7 sisters, whom he greatly cherishes. Solomon said to him, Tell me his name. But the demon answered, I cannot tell you, for if I tell his name, I render myself incurable. He will come when he is called. And Solomon said to him, Tell me then, by what angel you are frustrated? And he answered, By the fiery flash of lightning, and the angel, IAX. Not sure what to do with this headless eyeless demon, Solomon kept him in the custody of Beelzebul, until he summons the angel, IAX.
Now, IAX shows up later, but whenever there is a question, the other thing is having sores on the feet. The other thing is when your children are out and about, especially if you don't know where your children are, prayer always works, guys. I want to offer that. Pray. So pray to God first for assistance that your child or children get home safely, always. Even if they're grown and married, like I just feel like constant prayer makes the better difference for their lives, even if your children aren't talking to you. Like sometimes that's the sacrifice of a parent, regardless. Or if you have not heard from your children in years, I would still say pray without ceasing. But also, it's important to understand that one of the things that I saw here is, no, sorry. I think it was here where before even communicating with any of these demons. Solomon prays to God first. So one of the things that it says here, okay, he will come in response to it. And on hearing this, I, Solomon, said to him, tell me then by what angel thou art frustrated. And the headless demon answered, by the fiery flash of lightning. And I bow myself before the Lord God and bade him remain in the keeping until IAX should come. And then IAX comes much later. Through another demon. And this particular demon also has a relationship with IX. Let me only hear the words IX. Bid not, be not warmed. For Solomon is fairer than 11 fathers. I at once retreat. I would definitely say make sure that the prayer is to God. Solomon is not the God, right? Because we'll find out later that Solomon made some huge mistakes later on. So Solomon is human. The other thing is, which I think is going to be important later in life for all of you, is this ring of God. And I have it here. Let me see. It's this ring. Let me see if I can get y'all a picture of the ring of God. I feel like there are different ones. Ring of God. I definitely feel like getting to have the ring of God somewhere in your phone is important, because Solomon uses the ring of God to capture all of these demons. He keeps throwing it at them. No, it's not here. I have it. I might have to. This is so annoying. Well, let me try the ring of God symbol. Nope, it's not showing here. Oh, man. Every single time. This might be a version of the ring of God, but it's not 100%. Let me see if I could get into let me see if it's here, the ring of God. Nope, I don't have it here. Let me see. I think it's a good idea to have a picture of the ring of God somewhere. I keep the ring of God in my, kind of like in my phone, but it's on my StreamYard. But since I have two StreamYard, that's been part of the problem. So let me see if I can pull it up and place it in this StreamYard. God, this is so annoying. Why do I have this? Okay, go. Hold on, guys. I want to get you guys the picture of the ring of God. All right, let's see if it shows up. There you go. Copy. StreamYard is always advancing, and I'm not always Enter Studio. Hopefully I'll get, oh, there you go. Okay. Let me turn this off now. Okay, so I have the Ring of God as this. This is one version. Go ahead and take a screenshot of that. It does not bother me if you do. And then I have another version, which is an actual ring. So I don't know which one is the best, but that is another picture of the Ring of God. So go ahead and screenshot it and do your own research. It's a 7-pointed star on the outer edge, and it is a 5-pointed star, which is the pentagram, which most people, the way we've been taught, have been extremely fearful of the pentagram. But most witches know the pentagram as being very protective. I myself have been in between having witch knowledge and having Christian knowledge, have been in between what is right and what isn't right, right? So I've come to the conclusion that the pentacle is here for a reason. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is the 7 star that's associated with the ring of God. So I would say in extreme circumstances, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. This is another version of the 7 star. Take a picture of that if this feels better. But I would say that if there is a question of jealousy, why is this 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if this is the right one, but I would say if there is a question of jealousy, a question of evil spirits, take a picture of this symbol and have it on you, print it out, have it on you. Then pray to God. Then pray away the evil by way of what frustrates that evil, right? So if it's envy, right? I want what you have. What is envy again? I don't want to get confused. Envy is, let me take this down. Envy is wanting what someone else has. I want what you have. I want your house. I want your furniture. I want your job. All right. Jealousy is when you worry someone will take what you have. It's 2 different things. So I think envy is much more powerful because if someone locks eyes particularly like a job. If someone locks eyes and wants your job, you're about to give up that job because the spirit of envy is that strong, and they will do anything, including sleeping with the boss, to get what they want, and that would mean your job. So with all that being said, I would invest in the Ring of God. Here's a picture. And then pray with this picture in your hand. And then based upon the energy that you are praying away, what frustrates that demonic possession of you, of your loved ones. Let's say it's envy, right? I definitely would hold out this piece of paper. I would pray to God, and then I will add to that. I frustrate any envy that comes to take what is mine through the angel IAX, by the power of God, by the words of Jesus. You are not allowed to take what I have earned and own. You can go get yours. You cannot have mine. I hope I helped, guys. I hope I helped.
In the heart of the city, there's a lady so divine, with a gift so rare. She can read between the lines, unlocking mysteries. She's the one we all admire. With a touch of magic, she sets our souls on fire. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV, she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. From psychic readings to rosemary oil so pure, her spirit shines bright. Of that I am sure. On TV, she graces the screen with grace. Her presence is a blessing in every time and place. Pop culture psychic, in tune with the stars. She sees beyond the veil, even beyond Mars. And when the night falls, Tracy after dark, her wisdom illuminates like a powerful spark. So if you seek guidance, look no further than her door. Tracy Brown live where wisdom does soar. Through the realms of the unseen, she'll light your way. With every word she speaks, darkness turns to day. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong. Tracy Brown live, the beacon of light, guiding us through the shadows of night. Her voice like a melody, so pure and strong. In her presence, we know we belong.